to Afghan News with Mohsen Jamal. At least 5 suicide bombers and 2 security guards were killed when insurgents attacked a foreign construction compound in western Herat province on Thursday morning, local officials said. The incident took place in Guzara district of Herat province at 10 a.m. local time when a suicide bomber detonated his explosives at the gate of the private foreign construction company compound, and 4 others entered the compound, starting clashes with the security guards. Dilawar Shah Dilawar, deputy provincial police chief, said. Dilawar added that 5 other employees of the company were wounded in the attack, which lasted for around 5 hours. No group has so far claimed responsibility for the attack. In the largest meeting of its kind to date, representatives of Afghanistan and 12 nearby countries gathered in Istanbul on Wednesday to discuss regional efforts to rebuild security and stability in and around Afghanistan as NATO-led forces prepare to pull out of the country by the end of 2014. In adopting a strategy known as the Istanbul Protocol, the foreign ministers of countries including China, India, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan and Russia committed to cooperate in combating terrorism during drug trafficking and insurgent activities as well as in other areas. Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Zalmay Rasool told a joint news conference with his Turkish counterpart Ahmed Davutoglu that regional cooperation is not only theory. The wide range of measures adopted on Wednesday included few specifics, and diplomats will begin working on practical plans to meet their goals. Those plans are expected to be presented at a meeting in Kabul next year. While diplomats expressed hopes that regional solutions could help stabilize Afghanistan, it is also clear that powerful strains remain. The U.S. President Barack Obama administration is exploring a shift on the U.S. military's mission in Afghanistan to an advisory role as soon as next year. Senior officials say a move that would scale back U.S. combat duties well ahead of their scheduled conclusion at the end of 2014. The revised approach has been discussed in recent high-level meetings involving top defense and administration officials, according to people involved in the deliberation. No decisions have been made, officials said, and policymakers could consider other options that would adjust the mission in other ways, officials said. Officials said agreement on a formal shift to an advisory role could come as early as a North Atlantic Treaty Organization meeting in May. Security conditions in Afghanistan will likely require U.S. troops, particularly Special Operations Forces, to continue to accompany their Afghan counterparts into battle after the U.S. takes an advisory role. The United States Special Operations Forces killed well over 1,500 civilians in night raids in less than 10 months in 2010 and early 2011. Analysis of official statistics on the raids released by the U.S. North Atlantic Treaty Organization Command reveals that number would make U.S. night raids by far the largest cause of civilian casualties in the war in Afghanistan. The report by the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan on civilian casualties in 2010 had said the use of improvised explosive devices by insurgents was the leading cause of civilian deaths, with 904, except for a relatively few women and children killed by accident. The civilians who died in the raids were all adult males who were counted as insurgents in press releases and official data released by the International Security Task Force. The data on night raids cover 3 distinct 90-day night raid campaigns from May through July 2010, early August to early November, and mid-November to mid-February. Pakistan's former President Pervez Musharraf said on Wednesday that he can have positive impact on Pakistan's domestic policies if re-elected. Speaking at the Council on Foreign Relations in New York City, Musharraf said he believed relations between civilians and the military should improve. Certainly, the exiled former leader, who took power in a coup in 1999, launched the All-Pakistan Muslim League and has said he will return to Pakistan before the next election, which is not due until 2013. Musharraf said relations between the United States and Pakistan were in a poor state and noted that under his watch, communication was more direct, adding Pakistan must prove that it is a reliable partner in the war against terror if it seeks to improve the prickly relationship. Asked about whose responsibility it is to deal with Taliban fighters such as Mullah Omar in the Haqqani network, Musharraf said the United States and Afghanistan need to stop finger pointing. Two bombs exploded among a group of government-supported militiamen in the Iraqi city of Baquba Thursday, killing at least 6 people and wounding 23 others, a health official and a security source said. A suicide bomber detonated an explosive built outside the gates of a military base as members of the Sunni Sahwa militia lined up to collect pay, and a car bomb blew up in a nearby parking lot a few minutes later, the security source added. Faris al-Azawi, a spokesman for the Diyala Province Health Department, said the initial report suggests that 6 have been killed and 23 wounded. Police sources said the toll was 10 dead and 40 wounded. A day earlier, at least 8 people were killed and 22 wounded in 3 explosions in southern city of Basra. The International Criminal Court is still receiving information that Muammar Gaddafi's son Saif al-Islam may try to flee Libya with the help of mercenaries, the court's chief prosecutor said on Wednesday. Luis Moreno Ocampo also said he was investigating whether the former Libyan leader and his spy chief ordered mass rapes as they battled an insurgency earlier this year. Gaddafi died shortly after his capture last month by the former rebels, now the government forces, but Ocampo told the UN Security Council his investigations would not be confined to Gaddafi's forces. NATO has denied allegations that it deliberately targeted civilians during its 7-month campaign of airstrikes against Gaddafi's forces, which ended on Monday. The Syrian government has accepted several measures suggested by the Arab League aimed at halting the violence in the country, including the removal of tanks and armored vehicles from the streets. The breakthrough was announced at an emergency meeting in Cairo on Wednesday, where the regional body gathered to discuss plans to ease the violence and end the unrest in Syria. A statement by the Arab League emphasized the need for the immediate, full and exact implementation of the articles in the plan. Speaking after the meeting in the Egyptian capital, Sheikh Hamad bin Jassim Al Thani, the Qatari Prime Minister, said they have reached the agreement and hoped it would be implemented immediately. Soon after the Cairo announcement, the United States administration repeated its call for Assad to step down. Earlier in the day, Ban Ki-moon, the UN chief, demanded an immediate end to what he called the Syrian government's crackdown on civilian protesters. And that at least 9 people are reported killed and dozens wounded in the latest clashes between government forces and tribesmen in Yemen. Those killed on Wednesday in the central city of Taiz included pro-opposition fighters and civilians. A field hospital doctor, Abdul Razak Al-Gabri, said security forces randomly shelled several neighborhoods in Taiz where pro-opposition fighters had taken over a government building in the city center. Taiz has been a focal point for anti-government protesters demanding the resignation of Ali Abdullah Saleh, Yemen's president since 1978. The protests began 8 months ago, inspired by Arab revolts in Tunisia and Egypt, where long-serving leaders were forced out of power. That's all for now. Thanks for staying with us.